everybody. I hope you're doing well. I'm here to read news to you, April 13th, 2020. Greta Thunberg and Earth. Many people want to protect Earth. Many people celebrate protecting Earth on Earth Day, which is April 22nd. One person who wants to protect Earth is Greta Thunberg. Greta is a 17-year-old girl who was born in Sweden. Greta has Asperger's syndrome, which is a kind of autism. People with autism think differently. They find some things easier to do, but other things harder to do. Greta says Asperger's syndrome is like her superpower. It helps her think differently. It helps her think about things that are important to her. Page 2. One thing that is very important to Greta is stopping climate change. Climate is the typical weather in a place. Many people think the climate is changing, which could be dangerous for Earth. Changes in climate may cause floods, storms, wildfires, and more. Greta first learned about climate change when she was 8 years old. Greta started making changes in her life she thought would help Earth. She wanted to encourage government leaders to make changes too. She started protests in front of government buildings. During her first protest, she was alone. Then people started to join her. Page 3. Greta became famous for leading protests. She inspired other students around the world to protest too. She called these protests Fridays for Future. At the protests, students gave speeches and held signs that encouraged leaders to learn more about climate change. They encouraged leaders to learn about stopping climate change. Students in countries around the world participated in protests. Greta started meeting with leaders too. She met with leaders to talk about climate change and what countries and people can do to help stop climate change and protect Earth. Page 4. Greta gives speeches at important meetings. She gave speeches in front of government leaders in Italy, France, and the US. During her speeches, Greta asks leaders to pass laws that protect Earth. She talks about ideas she has to protect Earth. She thinks everyone can help. She asks people not to fly on planes because planes make pollution that can hurt Earth. Greta is brave and meets with many adult leaders to talk about something important to her. Protecting Earth is important to Greta Thunberg. Why is protecting Earth important? Page 5, the review page. I will read the question. I will pause, and then you can discuss it with somebody in your room, or you can jot down the answer, and then you can press play again, and here I will help you with the answer. Number 1, what is the main idea of this story? Planes make pollution that hurt Earth, Greta Thunberg leads protests, or stopping climate change is important to Greta Thunberg. Pause the video. The main idea of the story is stopping climate change is important to Greta Thunberg. Number 2, circle true or false about the following statements. Greta Thunberg was born in Sweden. Earth Day is April 24th. Changes in climate may cause flooding, storms, and wildfires. Pause the video. Okay, Greta Thunberg was born in Sweden. That is true. Earth Day is April 24th. That is false. Earth Day is April 22nd. Changes in climate may cause flooding, storms, and wildfires. That is true. Question number 3. Answer these questions about the story. What is the typical weather in a place? And what does Greta Thunberg ask leaders to pass? Please press pause. Okay, the typical weather in a place is called climate, and Greta Thunberg asked leaders to pass bills and laws that protect Earth. Question number 4. Identify some things about Greta Thunberg. Born in Switzerland, meets with leaders, is 20 years old, has Asperger's syndrome, wants to protect Earth, and asks people not to fly on planes. Pause the video. All right. The first thing, some things about Greta Thunberg. Born in Switzerland? No, she was born in Sweden. Meets with leaders? Yes, she does. Is 20 years old? No, she is only 17 years old. Has Asperger's syndrome? Yes, she does. Wants to protect the Earth? Yes, she does. And yes, she asks people not to fly on planes. And question number 5. Circle fact or opinion about the following statements. Greta Thunberg gives the best speeches, and many people celebrate protecting Earth on Earth Day. Pause the video. Okay, Greta Thunberg gives the best speeches. That is an opinion. And many people celebrate protecting Earth on Earth Day. That is a fact. Page 6 is your think page. I will read the questions and you can think about them on your own. Question number 1. What is something important to you? Why? 2. What would you talk to leaders about? Why? 3. How do you think Greta Thunberg feels when she gives speeches? And 4. What do you think your superpower is? Thank you very much for listening.